Hey guys, what's up? Back to the video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Barry Keogans the Joker in The Batman. So yes, the clip is finally released, the official deleted scene of Barry Keogans Joker in The Batman. Obviously, we saw him at the very end of the movie, and we heard rumblings about there being a different scene, and Matt Reeves ended up confirming that there was a different scene where Batman did go to Joker and started talking to him about the Riddler.
The scene that was not in the movie, the scene that this is really the companion to, which is actually a really cool scene that will release at some point.
And that's exactly what this scene is. Now, I know I haven't been making that many Batman videos. There just hasn't been enough to talk about at once, but I've been tweeting about all of it, making TikToks about all of it. So if you guys want to stay updated on all of the newest small Batman details as the franchise progresses, make sure to follow me on all my other social medias. Yeah, today we're back with the first theory video since the Batman actually came out. And I'll keep making these theory videos until all of the HBO Max shows, all of the future spin-offs, all of the future movies come out. So subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on so you don't miss any time I upload a video or go live. But without wasting more time, let's get into it. So we're gonna start off today's video by reacting to the official clip, and then I'll be giving my thoughts and stuff like that. So I have the clip pulled up right here. Let's get into it. Dude, I love his hair. I love like the acid wash. It's so well done. Oh my goodness, he looks great.
There's a serial killer. I want to respect him. First anniversary paper.
The first anniversary is papers.
You think I come so cheap? I thought you'd be curious. You think I got off in this stuff? Don't you? You have pictures.
Dude, his head, the prosthetics are crazy. And his fingers. Oh my god, it's disgustingly good. Dude, his laugh. It's perfect.
This violence. It's so baroque. Oh, he makes little puzzles, doesn't he? So meticulous.
Yeah, his fingers. That's gross. It's really well crafted though. The makeup design goes crazy in this movie.
Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, I see. He's a nobody. Wants to be somebody. The mayor, the commissioner. He's got ambition. You think his motive's political? Oh, no. This is very, very personal. He feels these people have all wronged him. Probably goes way back. Unhealed wounds, stolen lunch money. Why is he writing to me? Maybe he's a fan of yours? Or maybe he's got a grudge against you, too. Maybe you're the main course. Any theories? Not yet. Really? You're normally so ahead of the curve. But something is different this time. This is very upsetting to you. Let's get back to him. Why? You are so much more fun. I'm not here to talk about me. What are you here to talk about? I want to know how he thinks. You know exactly how he thinks. Have you read this file? You two have so much in common. fucks off.
Humor is not bad. Like, it's serious, but it's funny, and it's like, it works.
Okay. I'll tell you what I really think. I think you don't really care about his motives, whether he loves or hates you. I think somewhere deep down, you're just terrified. Because you're not sure he's wrong, huh? You think they deserved it.
Dude, that makeup!
They deserved it.
Oh my god. That is spectacular. Oh my goodness. That is perfection. Okay, so I have thoughts on this. I think the biggest thing I have to say is whether I wanted this in the movie or not. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm actually kind of happy this wasn't in the movie. If it was like a 2-minute thing, maybe I would want it. Actually, I would want it in the movie. It was only a 2-minute thing. It kind of just blatantly spells out what the Riddler was gonna do instead of, like the movie actually did itself, visually telling us what he's gonna do. I think that works a lot better. I just think that this scene itself, it felt too blatant in the way that it's like, okay, Riddler's, it's say he's taking it personal. That's basically all he's doing. Like, it's his personal stuff that is causing him to go crazy and stuff like that. We understand that through visual storytelling in the regular story so far in the movie. And so I feel like for that reason as well, this scene wasn't that necessary. And if you guys remember a while ago, I did make a video when the movie was test screening and people were specifically talking about that. People like Warner Brothers was wondering if it was too much sequel bait or sequel setup and stuff like that. And that's what they were trying to cut back on. And I think what they did in the movie with just having Barry Keogans Joker at the very end, not showing his face, just showing the highlights in his hair and the scarring on his face, I think that was the perfect amount. But besides the teasing thing, I feel like this might just throw stuff off. I think this would be placed right after the mayor's death is what I'm assuming. I don't know where this would take place, like if we're talking like Batman and Selena Kyle's relationship, them infiltrating the club. Like, I don't know where exactly this would fall in that situation, but just the clip alone, I think I'm happy with it not being in the movie. But with that being said, I do hope they release somewhat of an extended cut just so I can see this in place of the movie, or later down the line they can show a bigger chunk of the movie, maybe like release 15 minutes online and they have this clip in there so we can see how it actually flows within the movie. I also think it would be a good test for Warner Brothers to see how they can set up stuff in future movies, because in this clip we didn't really get a reveal of the Joker and his like clear face until the last like 30 seconds where he goes up to the microphone. And that's what I also really like. I like the POV of the Batman, the POV of the Joker. I talked about this in my like 30-minute breakdown video of the Batman, but I like in the prison scenes that it's muffled but depending on what side you're hearing it from, and they do the same thing here. I think it works really, really well. They also make the lines between the glass very, very blurry, and so it deconstructs the Joker's face, leaving that mystery, which I absolutely love that they do that. Now, if this takes place when I think it does, which is like probably like in the first half of the movie, I would say that when Joker in this clip says, "I think you're the main course," or something along those lines, I think that's when Batman could start to also realize that Riddler might actually think he's Bruce Wayne. Obviously, we find out that he doesn't know he's Bruce Wayne, but I think that would be pretty interesting to see that. Now, another thing I do have to mention about this clip in breaking it down is that there's one part of this clip where Batman says, "I don't want to talk about me." Joker says, "Why not?" Blah, blah, blah. And I think it's very interesting that Batman goes to Joker to find out more about the Riddler's mindset. Now, number one, we do know that at this point, Joker is not fully Joker. I actually recorded a full video on Matt Reeves talking about this scene, but honestly, I wanted to wait till it was going to release because I felt like it was going to release at some point. Obviously, it did, but we did get information that Matt Reeves said that this Joker isn't really Joker yet.
And this killer in this story is not yet the character that we come to know, right? So everybody's in their kind of infancy. And so here we have a Joker who's not yet the Joker. And I wanted to do an iteration. I worked with Mike Marino, and in the scene that you'll see in the future, you'll see that we worked on what he looked like. I wanted to create an iteration of him that felt distinctive and new, but went right back to the roots. What if this is something that he's been touched on, that he's been touched by from birth, and that he has a kind of congenital disease that refuses to let him stop smiling, and he's had this very dark reaction to it, and it's made him, he's had to spend a life of people looking at him in a certain way, and he knows how to get into your head. He's eventually going to declare himself as a clown, declare himself as the Joker.
And I'm going to be talking about this later in the video, mentioning the Arkham Asylum show and stuff like that. But with the information that we have right now, I do think that Joker, before he's actually Joker, could be a character that's kind of like Hannibal Lecter, in the sense that Batman can go to him and he can find out more of information about the criminals and stuff like that. And inherently, the Joker's not going to go ahead and just give him the information. Like in this clip, he doesn't just flat out say like, oh, he's this dude, he's this dude. But by saying that, oh, he's a nobody, he just wants to make change in this world. And then Batman asks, is he doing it for politics? And he says, no, it's just small hints that let Batman better understand who the Riddler is as a person and the person behind the mask and stuff like that. So that's what I'm very excited for, if they use the Joker as a Hannibal Lecter type of character. Now, there's not much else to break down in this scene itself, so I do want to just take the time and talk about Joker in these movies, because I haven't made a video on him. So I already mentioned his purpose and what I think he'll be doing in the Batman franchise. Would I at least hope him being a Hannibal Lecter type of character? I just think it would work really, really well. And since if he is that type of character, I think he'd work well as the lead in the Arkham Asylum show, which is the biggest thing I wanted to talk about in this video. But before we do get into that, I do have to mention, I love Barry Keoghan as Joker. I talked about this fan casting a while ago when the leaks came out and stuff like that, but I absolutely want him as the Joker. I love what he's done with the character. I loved his laugh in the movie alone, and seeing his actual face, seeing the makeup, the prosthetics, the teeth, just that caught me off guard. But as a whole, the prosthetics, the balding, the acid on his head, all of it just looks so perfect to me. And I think that Barry Keoghan was the perfect casting choice for this. I think Barry Keoghan, if he gets to play this role for the next 5 to 6 years that this trilogy goes on, as well as the Arkham show, I think he can get solidified as the best Joker. He'll probably have the most screen time as the Joker, and I think that's what Matt Reeves wants to do with this universe's Joker. Usually Joker is a one-off villain, but what if Joker is just an underlying villain within this entire trilogy, and at the end he's the thing, he's that person, that force that leads all the other rogues gallery to finally clobber down on Batman. Now, the reason I think this is because we know that the Arkham Asylum show is going to be a horror-esque show, and if you didn't know, there was going to be a GCPD show as well as the Penguin show. The Penguin show is still happening, and I did make a video on that a while ago, but the GCPD show, Matt Reeves himself said it has evolved into somewhat of an Arkham Asylum show instead. It's going to be very, very dark, horror-esque show, and I'm really excited for that. And Matt Reeves also did say that Barry Keoghan's Joker won't be utilized just in the sequel. He just wanted to throw him in the movie to have him in this world and for small world building. And he specifically said that we might have him in upcoming projects, but he's probably not going to be the main villain in the next movie. Well, I don't even know, because I haven't even started writing the next movie, stuff like that. Now, obviously, directors could always be lying about their future movies because they don't want to spoil it, but if he is not lying, I do think that Barry Keoghan's Joker could be the main character in the Arkham Asylum show, gathering up all of these villains. It would also let us learn about Batman's rogues gallery a lot better in this world. I think that the show could take advantage of, say, a 6 to 8 episode format, giving us a slow burning origin of Joker, and then maybe even halfway through the season or in the last 2 to 3 episodes, he arrives into the Arkham Asylum and he starts to make friends, or I guess become comrades with all these other villains from Batman's rogues gallery. That would not only expand the Joker's backstory without having to have a whole movie of him just on the side, but it'll also expand the rogues gallery, and it'll put the Joker in a position where he can just be placed into a Batman movie whenever Matt Reeves wants to, and he doesn't have to worry about building up an origin story or people not being connected enough to his character and stuff like that. I just think Arkham Asylum show, that could automatically mean just rogues gallery for Batman. But if it's a super horror driven story that we don't know if it's anthology or not, and if it's not anthology, I definitely think that it's just going to be a Joker centric show. And 8 hours of Joker, I would absolutely love that, as opposed to a 3-hour movie where he's only in it for like an hour and a half. But yeah, guys, those are all my thoughts on the Barry Keoghan Joker clip, as well as just Barry Keoghan as a Joker in general. I'm so excited for the future of this Batman franchise. I don't have too many super in-depth thoughts on this. I do think that the clip was phenomenal. I'm glad it wasn't in the movie, but I'm also excited to see if they release some sort of extended cut where we get to see it in the film. Let me know what you guys think of Barry Keoghan as Joker. Do you like his performance? Do you wish that he did something something different in his performance? Let me know all of these things in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.